Hello again, it's me. Still rainbow hair. Still outspoken. Listen, I wasn't planning on doing anything on the video right now, but I have just been catching up since yesterday afternoon on YouTube, on watching TYT and David Packman and Fair and Balanced, and just catching up on what's been happening. And guys, I really don't like speaking badly about people, especially a group of people, because that is like so wrong, and it just goes against me, my gut. But Republican Republicans are literally trying to destroy American democracy and create a different government, a different country. Um, and I'm not even speaking from a Democrat perspective. I'm not talking about, oh, because they're political opposite of my, what I believe and fight for. Where it's just, when I vote, oh, there's Raspy. Hello, baby boy. When I vote, I don't vote my party. It's not like I go like a lot of people, and I know a lot of Republicans especially do this, because I've asked them, I've spoken to everybody, and everybody I know about this, and I don't just vote straight Republican. I don't do that. I vote. Keeps nudging me in the back. I see you. I see you. I nearly lost this guy a year and a half ago. Um, it's just the policies that they're doing. Okay, look at Santos. Look at him. Okay, he's in 5 months. He's got his almost as many charges as Trump has. Tuberville, what he's been doing against women. I mean, come on, please stop. The only reason they're not ejecting Feinstein because she obviously is not capable. We have given months, and there's no improvement. She still can't attend the votes and things, even in the will. I mean, the only reason they're keeping her and Santos and not dumping is because they need the body. They need the vote. It doesn't matter what they do in their personal life or their business life or their political life anymore. Look at SCOTUS. Just about all of them. Republicans. Corrupt. I mean, like on Trump's level. Like all the Trumps combined kind of thing. Guys, any Republicans or, fence sitters who are still voting for the Republican Party is the real world, the real lifetime, in the moment topics that you're voting on. Is sacrificing all that for your children and your grandchildren, sacrificing all of that just to stay loyal to the political party you have on your voter's registration? I find that a little daft. I find that incompetent, and I'm sorry to tell you that, but if you're still voting or planning to vote for any of these jerks, any of these corrupt, un-American dweebs, why? Explain to me all those people that are currently Matt Gates with younger people. I mean, please, people. Perjury Trader Green. Lauren Blober. I mean, these are not family values, people. Republicans, you're clinging that they're my party because they represent what I want. They say family values. What do you see them doing? What do you see in their personal lives? It's not what they tout. And why? It's because you're grasping, because they're the only party and the only candidates that are yapping about religion. Every other word out of their mouth, practically. That's trying to ensnare people that are religious to think that, well, they keep saying they're they're religious, and they believe in this and they believe in that, and oh, they're saying all the things we want to hear, but they're not doing it. And look at what their pasts are and their current things that they're being investigated for in their personal lives as well. The only reason you guys, I think, are clinging is because they're the only party mentioning religion. Well, let me explain something to you. I recall the Bible saying, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. In other words, when you do good things, when you're doing good things, it will be obvious. You don't have to tell everybody how good you are. It will be obvious in your words and actions. Okay? If it looks too good to be true, it probably is. Okay? Democrats, they admit their faults, their weaknesses. We do. The problem with the Democrats in power are they're afraid. And that's why I feel that term limits, where you just, even for SCOTUS, you'll be less afraid because you'll know you can't have an unending amount of terms in Congress. You can't have unending amounts of terms on the bench. You got to do something with your life after that. That might deter some people, from getting into it because they can't make a career out of it. You can't keep on. It needs to be for all political seats, state and federal level, term limits, including judges, from bottom to top. Term limits, the end of it. And no perks when you're done. No perks. You go back to what everybody else is living, the same laws and rules that you applied to them while you were in office with all your little perks. When you get out of office, those need to be cut. No more. Another reason why you won't, the people that are in it for that won't be willing to put up with all the other stuff to get to run, if they have to know that they're not going to get the long-term benefits, especially if we stop the buying and selling and trading and all that of stocks in Congress. All of that will stop the people from that are hanging out there just for the bucks and the recognition. We need to keep that moving with new people constantly, and I'm not talking just young. Everybody by now should personally know an ex-Congress, ex-Senate, ex-House person, because we should be rotating, getting these different people's ideas, because that is who we the people are. And we the people are supposed to be running our country, okay? But they only have they. And they keep that little clique like a bunch of high school twerps that need to grow up. There's a lot I can say, but just seeing 4 stories, one after the other, about all the corrupt different things that are coming out about politicians, and I can guarantee you, Stefanik has not said a word about this the Santos thing, and I'm sorry, but my gut has always made me wonder why, right from the minute his little name was mentioned, Stefanik was right there backing for him and stuff. You cannot tell me the Republican, they did not do even a very light vetting of Santos, and they would have found stuff. They knew, but they also knew if he's as glib, as he's been, it's kind of like a mini Trump type of deal is maybe what they saw or she saw. Or maybe she met him in a scheme and thought, he's good for Congress. That's what Cruz did with Blobert. He met her on a booty call, basically. And, excuse me, an escort call. And said, man, this loose cannon is perfect for our party. I'm telling you, seriously, this is how they pick people. I know I've got no makeup on. Cat was ready. I wasn't prepared today at all to come on. But Republicans and fence sitters that are still voting Republican, let me tell you a little thing. A lot of people don't really pay attention as much. If they pay attention to politics at all, it's the federal. They don't pay attention to their state government. And Republicans are counting on that to continue. Because years ago, we're in some of this trouble now because years ago, they started seeding the state governments where they held about to try, so because eventually they're going to try to push those people on up once they've got their feet in politics, and they're starting to do that, and they've groomed them. I think they knew the trend was coming, where they wanted to go, and where the majority of us didn't want to go. So they have to play tricks and seed things. I mean, they have to gerrymander. They have to do everything now in order to even try to win. Doesn't that tell you something? A third of this country still loyally and blissfully and blindly, I am sorry guys, I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just saying, instead of saying 2/3 of you are all lying and you don't see it, instead of maybe us third haven't been really paying attention. And let me tell you something. It's okay if you were duped. It's okay, okay? Same thing with people that have been in cults. It's okay if you got misled, you were in a vulnerable place. Some people, even those of us who get those gut feelings and we just know when an animal or a person is or a situation just feels wrong. Even those people, even very smart people, have gotten. That's how Black Widows and men who do this kind of thing, Dirty John and stuff, because these people they're smart. They're not stupid. They're intelligent people, and they get duped, and they feel ashamed. I'm rich. I know what I'm doing, or I'm smart, and I've got. Why did I fall for this? You feel ashamed. You feel embarrassed. You feel like you can't go back now because you were so adamant about you were right. But then when you see it from a distance, you see the forest and not just the tree. So if all that's keeping you guys, some of you, from ditching these Republicans until at least they get the party back to where it used to be a decade ago, we can deal with that. We can work with that. But we can't work with this, okay? It's not. It's like a peeing contest. And you're wasting the time and our money we're paying these people because they're seeing who can piss on the Cheerio. People, if the only thing keeping you is that feeling of I'm just going to be laughed at, I don't have a home with them, they think I'm an idiot, No, okay, we understand. Most of us understand when you're in vulnerable parts in your life, sometimes you grasp onto something that looks just exactly what we need. But that doesn't deliver all the time, and we've seen it doesn't deliver. And they project everything the Republicans have been accusing Democrats of, we find they've been doing. They've been screaming about us grooming and stuff. Yet we find, what was that one that we just found? He just quit. I think it was the state one. I don't know, because he was one of the bigger, like, oh, they're grooming our kids against the LGBTQ, and he himself was having like illicit things with either minors or AIDS or. And this is like, Matt Gaetz used to be a big proponent of that. He was doing the horizontal with underage people too. So the ones who are screaming the hardest for abortion, or for like letting us lower the child labor laws or the child bride laws, or child boys, those are the ones you gotta start looking at. And I don't see any Democrats in office saying any of that. So I'm just trying to reach the people that are still voting for this insanity. If it's because you're starting to see that maybe maybe they're not quite on their sanity right now. It's okay. We come back. It's okay. Come join us again. We understand. I understand. I just want you to come back, because you're voting for all the things that are going to go against you. Seriously. People of color, please, they are not for you. They are not for equality, for gender, for making against women. They're not for people that are not white. They're only for white men, a lot of them. Everything else, everyone else, they want subjugated to them. Please start really looking and listening to them, because they don't have the best, no matter what they say. Look at this. Trump kept saying he had a plan for this, a health plan, this, that. Did he ever have it? He's still saying it. 6 years later. He hasn't shown it to you, has he? They do not have the best in mind or in heart for women, for people of color, for LGBTQ, for transgender. They do not have, none of them have that. The abortion, it's because they're scared. It's because there's more people of color than white people coming up in this country, and that's got them all aflutter, So, and okay, they want to force women to have children, regardless on how that seed was planted or by whom. They just want the baby factories so we can produce more white babies. And nobody wants to say it because of their, liability, or, as their job. Well, this ain't my job, and I don't have a boss, so I am going to say it. And they want more white babies, and they don't care if it's a 12-year-old popping them out. It doesn't matter if it was a 10-year-old that was raped, a 30-year-old woman who doesn't want children. She cannot handle children, but you're going to force her to have them, because you're going to take away the abortion, and then you're going to take away the pill, and they say they're not going to do it, but they're going to do it. Okay? What did we all tell you guys a few years back? They are going for abortion. Everybody said, nah. Even they lied in their job interviews. No, that's already, we've had that go around. That's solid. What'd they do to the abortion laws? I'm just telling you, y'all need to start really looking at who. And I'm not saying who's got the best at heart for you, your children, your grandchildren, your friends, and your loved ones, families, and generations, okay? I don't hate Republicans. I don't approve of their authoritarian, theocratic attitude. Stop shoving things down our throats. They say we're shoving abortion. No. It's there if you want to use it, if you don't. Them saying you can't no matter what, that's shoving down throats. Okay? I just want you guys to really wake up, because it's not like I want to get all these people to vote for Democrats so we win, I won. It's not that. I want you to win too. I want the LGBTQ people to win. I want women to win. I want people of color to win. I want you all to win. And I really do. And that's why I'm trying to tell you. Trying to make you, everybody else hasn't gotten through to you. Maybe some 6-year-old jerk crying on video with rainbow hair that just looks completely maybe nuts. Maybe that'll get through to you. And I don't care what I look like if I get through to some people. If I get through to any of you guys, it's worth looking like a neurotic jerk here. But, see, that's what people that really care do. I just have been doing this lately because words, sometimes people don't want to read words, especially when they're long words. A long string of words. It's called a novel. So, maybe somebody with rainbow hair looking silly and crying will get some attention, but I honestly really want the best for everybody, and they do not have the best at heart. The only thing they care about is power and money and everything that comes with that. And you should be working in the entertainment field then, or some other field if that's what you want. Politics is not what that's for, okay? And a lot of them are doing it just to get known and have money, okay? Green, all her little faux CrossFit stuff, she's supposed to be working. You're supposed to be working, lady. Huh? What about that? And not that, only that, but everybody else. Bober, doing all her little talk. Why don't you work? If there's no session, you don't work? So you don't bother thinking about any of these issues, maybe taking notes during the days, things that come to your mind. Do you do any of that before you go to a session and discuss something? Do you crack a book or crack a Google? Do you even do that? Because me thinks not. Anyway, just y'all have a great day. Oh, now my other kitty Smudgy is circling my legs like a shark. All right, you guys. Listen, I just really, really, really want what's the best for everybody, and the Republicans aren't giving that, guys. Don't look with just your ears, Don't look with your ears. Look with your eyes. See what they're doing. Do a little research on these people. Start listening to your gut. If your gut kind of like does a little bit of a lurch when you see somebody, they might be trying to tell you something, We all have that, okay? Psychic, whatever. We all can Tune into that. And believe me, it would behoove you. It would incredibly benefit you in all areas if you kind of learn how to read. Also, a big thing that politicians, they don't they don't really consciously pay attention to this body language, expressions. There are things that are micro expressions that if they do something that's not typical of them, they're indications of certain things that people do that are just, you don't they're subconscious. Your body does it without thinking. Certain things, if you're just trying to deceive people and things like that, certain ways of what you do with your voice, or just a little twitch of a lip or something when something is said. I mean, it's really interesting, and that also will help you in all areas if you do a little brush up. YouTube has a bunch of them, behavior specialists, and some of those things can help you guys to ascertain who's being sincere and who isn't. Who's being a lech who just wants to get into his daughter's pants if it was legal, and who's just being a grandfather who just cherishes the younger generation and wants to encourage them and make them feel like they can do it, like every parent should be doing to their children. That's how you raise children. You don't punish them. You give them some time out, and we talk about to cool down. It's cool down time. It's not punishment, okay? There are things that you can look at when politicians are speaking, that, or even how they tweet, an indication if they're lying. Like if somebody says, well, mostly, well, that can be not a lie, but they're not what's mostly to you. If they have it firmly fixed in their mind that it happened one time, so that's mostly, yeah, they can say that with conviction. But you can't do that you can't monitor your subconscious stuff consistently when you're trying to talk, and or you're on the trial or something like that. You can't. And start learning how to look at those things, because I see that a lot with politicians. You can see where they're putting their hands when they're not speaking. All that stuff is very, very telling. Are they hiding something or not? So that might help you guys brush up just on some basic stuff, and you'll start recognizing, why they do that? Why is she holding her hands like that? What is she doing? Trust me, it really is something that doesn't take long. Watch some guys doing assertions. They did it with Amber Heard, Lori Daybell, a lot of people. They've all these different channels have covered it. So check those out. That'll help you figure out when somebody's not really telling you the truth, or not telling you the truth at all, or when they are seeming to be very genuine. But really, if you're still voting for or thinking of voting for Republicans, not as a political request, as a human being, as a woman, as a mom, it's okay if you made a mistake and you want to come off the Trump train, off the Q-Publican train. It's okay. Just, I was in a bad spot. When you're under a lot of stress, you're not really taking all those cues from yourself. And if you feel like you've been gone to yourself that I've been so adamant about them and now I can't just back down, it's okay. It really is okay. Because your future and your lifestyle is at risk. So it's okay if you made a mistake. It's not too late, okay? You can help us fix it by voting with the Democrats. And I am not saying every Democrat is angelic and pure white, okay? as in sinless, not pure white as in color. Um, there are some that are very opportunistic. And some of them are actually very good. They just like trades and stuff, and I don't agree. They shouldn't be able to do that. You're not supposed to get rich being a politician. That's not the way it was supposed to be. It's a service job. The service jobs are called service jobs for a reason, because it's a service to the country. That's why they say military. They did service. Okay? When you work for like the post office. Yeah, you're getting paid, you're having a life because you're getting a job, but it's also a service. So you have a little more standards than another job that you really need to pay attention, because there are important things in this mail. You do hear that, DeJoy, don't right? You hear me? Yeah. Um, it's the same idea. Okay, so just one, start looking at some of the gestures. Do people hold their hands, open like this, or do you see them all the time sitting like closed hands? That could be you're hiding something. I know it sounds silly, but it's just just do a little research, and you'll see how when if somebody does it as their baseline thing, they always do that, or did they not always do that, and then you see them do it 2 or 3 times in a row. That kind of thing. That can be an indication that maybe you might want to perchance pay a little more attention to them and get a better feel. Also, if you're ready to get off the insanity train with the Republicans, taking away everybody's rights except white male, that's basically what they want. They want this place completely filled with white people, white babies, and the only ones that are going to get any kind of protections and benefits and help is if they're boys, if they're white boys. Basically, that's what they want. And I don't understand women still fighting for Republicans, still loyal to them. I don't understand people of color being completely loyal to them either, because they're working against you. Don't you know that? Because they are. And I'm concerned about all of you. I'm concerned about everybody, not just myself. So believe me or don't believe me, but nobody's holding a gun to my head making me say this, and y'all can check me out. I might work the elections, but that's about all I have. There's no family, there's no wealth. I've got nobody in any position that I can benefit from that. So check me out all you want. I have no reasons to mislead you. None. I don't even have a savings account, people, okay? Nobody's bribing me. Trust me on that. The artwork behind me is mine. I make it, do it. But anyway, just sit for a few each day and just think about, if you're still loyal to Republicans, exactly why. Unless, if all you want is white people in this world, in this country, and all you want is white males to have any kind of say in anything. If that's what you want, then I guess stay with the Republican Party. But if you're a woman or a person of color especially, you certainly should not stay with them. I don't know why you are, but it's okay to get off that train. Y'all have a great day. Peace out.